Okay, so thank you. I realised I've muted myself, so I apologise. I've got something somewhere else is going. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you can hear me on the by typing on the right hand side. Yes, wonderful, fantastic. So we've got 24 people on the call at the moment. It'd be great to know whereabouts you're calling in, jumping on the call from. So I'm calling in from sunny Paikok. My kids are out down at the beach, and we've got some people here from Tahoro, Otaki, Levin. Hey Alan, hey Peter from Paraparam. We've got Renee and Tahoro. Hey look, it's Carl and Eva. Hey Carl and Eva. Right, we've got people from all over, and that's fantastic. Fantastic. Hey Denise from Paikok as well. Wonderful. So a little bit about these webinars. So these webinars have been put on by Kāpiti Coast District Council and also by Leverage, which is my company, in response to COVID-19 and to try and help some of the local businesses that are facing some challenges during this, I want to say unprecedented times, which seems very cliche, but it's very, very strange times. So the purpose of these webinar sessions are to give you some tools that you can use as business owners to take control of your digital presence. So there are three sessions that we are holding. So you've obviously come across to those from the council, either the council website, the KapitiCoastNZ.com, or through their emails. So we've got today's session, which is about building your own website. So I'm going to take you through everything you need to know to build yourself a website on Squarespace, and that we'll run through that. On Friday the 24th at 10 o'clock in the morning, we're going to run through how to set up an online store from scratch using Shopify. And then on Monday, the 27th of April, we're going to run through the social media strategies for business in 2020 and how you can leverage that to grow your business. So if at any stage you have questions, please, down the bottom there's an ask a question button. Just click in there and ask away, or in the chat on the right hand side there. So why do we want to use Squarespace for building a business, building our website? Sorry. So Squarespace is fantastic for people who are not necessarily technically minded. Squarespace is built around best design practices. It is really, really easy to jump on and use the tools that are available to build out the website. So if you'd like to follow along as I work through this, jump on over to squarespace.com and we will begin the process of building out our website from there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get started from scratch. So bear with me 2 seconds. Okay, so when you visit Squarespace, you will end up landing on a website like this. Now, up in the top right-hand side, we have login or get started. So we're just going to click get started to get everything moving. Now, we are going to today we're going to be building out a website for Kāpiti Experience. A fake business called Kāpiti Experience. Sorry, I've got emails coming through for people trying to jump on. I wonder if Jamie, I think you're on here. I hope you are. No, maybe not. Okay, that's all right. We'll just keep going. Sorry, guys. So what we will do is we're going to use this thing, Bailyard. It's a great thing to start with. Bear with me. We're going to continue with an email. And just simply sign up. That's as easy as it is. So once we've done that, we've set up our Squarespace account to start with. Now, Squarespace is a pay-to-play web service, so we will need to pay to bring our website live, and we'll run over that once we get to that point. So once we get to this point, we're going to put in some details around our website. So the Okay, and now we're going to get started. We're going to skip this and we'll come back to it in a moment. We're going to also close this down. This assistant on the right-hand side here is fantastic for being a checklist, and it just sits down here. So if you need to hit it again, it sits down on the right-hand side on that question mark. You just click on that and it pops up. So to start with, what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at the pages for the website. So pages are the building blocks of our website. So with our new website here, they've pre-built in some pages. So this is our home page, and it's down here. It's our home page here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add. This is the first step. Is we're going to add a page. So we click up here. We're going to start with a page layout, and we're going to call it. We can choose a page layout, and the page layouts depend on what we're trying to offer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to choose this one here, and we're going to call it Adventure. So that's how easy it is to add a page, and we can see it's already added to our navigation menu up the top here. If we want to add a page to our navigation menu, we just simply drag it up and put it in here. Now you will see that the page is now added into our navigation menu. We also want to add another page here for, we're going to put another one in for relaxing. So choose this one here, looks pretty good. We click on it, and it's added in the page here. So just any chance I can make my head smaller? I wonder if I can. Yes, I can. Sorry, is that better? Sorry, guys. When I'm sharing the screen, I can't see what you guys are seeing, so I'm sorry. Is that making sense so far? I'm sorry if that's not quite working. If that's not making sense. Okay, you couldn't see what I was doing. Okay, okay. So what we're doing is we've logged in. We've come to our pages section. So on the right-hand side, we have. On our left-hand side, we've got these this menu here, and this is essentially Squarespace. At the moment, what we're doing is we're adding in pages. So we've just added in this page here by clicking on this plus up here. We can also add it by clicking on this plus down the bottom. Once we can click on the gear icon here, which brings us up with more details around what we can add to each page. So this page we were going to call Relax. We also want it to have the navigation title of Relax, because what we're going to do is we're building some pages around adventure, relaxing, and dine on Kāpiti. The URL slug is what we see in the web browser up the top here. Well, you can't see up the top. Up the top, so it's in the when we in the web address. So we want to set that to something that's something that is relatable and really easy to remember. Hit save, and that will automatically update the information and keep it updated on the website. Now, if we want to, this main navigation is the list of pages that are showing up here on this navigation menu. So if we wanted to reorder them, we just simply click and drag them down to drag them to the order that we want them to be in. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out, Tracy, about the options. So I'll just jump backwards and forwards. Okay, so when we're here, we're now ready to edit this page. So what we want to do is we're going to come up to the top. Whenever we're in Squarespace, there's a couple of buttons we can see when we're looking at the page. So this big white box here is essentially what your website would look like. There's a couple of buttons that I want to draw your attention to. The first one is this arrow on the top right-hand side. By clicking on this will make the website to a full screen preview. So this is what it would look like if you clicked on it. Would show you what your website looks like on someone else's desktop on the live website. By clicking on it again, it shrinks it back and brings back the menu on the right-hand side. The next button over, which looks like a rectangle with a little button on the bottom, is the mobile preview, which is really, really important. On our website, I know that we get 60% of all traffic is coming through on mobile. So when we're designing our websites, we need to make sure that we're focusing on a mobile-first perspective. So this is how our approach to design comes. It also is really important when it comes to search engine optimization, or SEO, which is how the search engines rate the website. Now, Google has been prioritizing mobile experience as a priority to increase your positioning with the search engines. So it's always important that your website works well on mobile. Now, Squarespace is built-in mobile friendly, but when we're adding in images or text, we want to make sure that they work on mobile. So we can see here, by dragging the scroll bar down, we can see that the website is working on is mobile friendly, and this is the beauty of using these pre-built themes. So to exit the mobile preview, just simply click that button again, and it brings us out. So now we've added a couple of pages here. What we want to do is we're also going to add another one, and we'll call it Dine. And what we want to do is we're going to add in a menu button. So this is where we're going to add in, say, a menu that we might have on our website. So we're going to call this Dine. And we'll circle back to that one after. We've added that into our menu. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the design phase of the website. So this is where we get to change all the colors and elements. So we simply click on this. Now we can choose, we're presented with a number of options. This is where we get to change the look and feel of our website. Now, starting at the top, we're going to choose the fonts. Now, Squarespace has a fantastic mix of fonts that are available for use. Now, it's always good to choose one that works really well with your theme and your brand. So we're just going to jump over to mixed, and I really like this one down here. A nice mix of sans serif and serif fonts, and we can see straight away we've got an update. But actually I've decided that I want to change my mind. It's really easy to change your font. You just jump on over and we can browse the list, and it automatically updates. So I quite like this, this active, because we're about experiencing Kāpiti. So we just click the button and it should update. Might have to hit save. Has anyone got any questions? Just while that loads up. Okay. All right. Okay, so no questions at this stage. All right, let's keep going. Why is that not doing anything? Here we go. Are we still here? Sorry, Gay. If you are struggling to keep up, I will be. This will be coming up as a recording. Sorry, just bear with me 2 seconds. Jamie from the council is just calling in, so sorry for a moment. Sorry, everyone. It was just Jamie from Kāpiti Coast District Council making sure that everything was working right. So Renee, there is a cost for Squarespace, and I'll run over that at the end. It's about, I think it's about 12. It depends on the plan. There's one that's, I think, about $12 to $20 a month. And yes, Kirsty, Squarespace is really, really user-friendly. It's really hard to break it. So if you have any, if you have any questions afterwards, don't hesitate to message me. It is really straightforward. So we just where we jumped off there was the just make sure was that we were changing the font. So we decided to change to active, and it's updated the fonts. Now we're just going to hit save, and that will change the fonts on the front of the website, and it will just bubble away there until it's updated. Now, any questions, guys, for that updates? No, it's come up to date. Okay, wrong one. There we go. Just hit cancel there and we'll just get out of that. Why is that doing that? I think my website, my internet might be running a little bit slow, so I hope everyone can hear us. That's a good question. Why not use Squarespace for an online store? My preference is to use Shopify. You can use Squarespace for an online store. We're not going to cover that in this call, but you can definitely use Squarespace for an online call, online store. Great question, Kirsty. Okay, right. So that's now updated. We're going to exit out of our design and jump into the colors tab. Now this is where we can choose, change our colors. This is the palette that we've given the website has come through from the thing. We're going to jump in, we're going to edit this. We can use the pre-built colors, or we can bring in our own. So I've got a couple here that I want to use. You can just move drag the slider around here, and it will automatically update the colors. You can see the Take Action button in the top right-hand corner is changing color as I move this around. Now I've got some colors that, being a designer, I've already chosen are the ones that I want to put in. So I'm just going to grab those and bring them in. So the first one is a lovely yellow color. And you can just either paste in the hex codes and push enter, or you can type them in. So I'm just going to bring these in. I want to change this one. And one of the tricks that I've found with Squarespace is typing in the color codes into here. You need to type them in and then put the pound sign at the start before pushing enter. So that's updated my colors, and I'm happy with how those are looking. And we hit save to confirm those changes. Now it'll take a couple of seconds to update. Now, if I click on this home button while that's loading, it'll bring us back to our home page, and we should be able to see those colors come through. Okay, now we need to hit save. It should bring those colors through. All right. Can I add photos on any page? Yes, you can add photos from any page. The color codes, I've already picked those. If you have colors that suit your brand, then you can choose those from your color codes. Is there a written instruction manual available? Yes, there is a extensive support for Squarespace. Also, Squarespace offer support as chat or via email as well. So once I would recommend that you have a go afterwards. Right, so okay, so now we've added this. Now what we want to do is we want to change the colors in. So we've got down the side here, we've got our, these are some color options that would pull together our different colors in our themes to bring them together, and we can apply those to the website as we move through. Now the animation, what we're going to jump down to is we're going to do the animation is the next one. So when we load up the web page, we can change how it comes in and out. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add in a fading element here, and you'll see that as that website refreshes, the elements scale up or fade in. So we're just going to choose fade, and we're going to hit save, and that's going to apply all of our changes. Just waiting for that to load through. Okay. Now we're going to go back out of this one. We're going to have a look. We're not going to have a look at the spacing. Or we can change the spacing. So this sets the width of the site and also the margin on the edge of the site, but we're not going to touch those at all. Buttons change the shape of your buttons. Product images, as we mentioned just previously, you can use Squarespace for e-commerce, but we're not going to look at those at the moment. On Friday, we are running a webinar with Shopify looking at e-commerce. The next one is the browser, the image blocks. We're going to skip those when we come to the browser icon. So the browser icon is, if you look up at the top tab in your Chrome browser, you'll see that we've got that in CrowdSpace, we've got that orange 3 stacks of rectangles with a circle on top. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set one of those for our website. So we call those a favor icon or fav icon. And I've already got one prepared. What we want to do is we want to use one that's square. So we're going, we've got fav icon here. So we're going to open that, we're going to put that in. Oh, no. We want one that's 100 pixels. And that's just going to upload. We can see it uploading. And now that's there. And that will now, when we preview the web page, will show up as the icon at the top there and show up in the browser. So the next step is what we're going to do is we're going to come into the website and we're going to actually start editing our website. So we have the button on the top right-hand side to bring the page out as a preview. We have the mobile view, and then now we've got the edit view. So we're going to click edit, and editing a page in Squarespace is simply as easy as clicking on the page and editing it. So we're just going to come over here, we're going to hover over the top section here, we're going to click edit header. What we're going to do is we are going to add a site, click on the header layout, and we can have a look here, and there's a few different options. If, for example, we wanted to change where the logo was positioned, we could choose one of these different buttons. But I'm quite happy with how the logo, the header is at the moment. And we're just going to keep that there. So the header is the top section of the page with the name on the left-hand side, or the logo will be over here. The navigation menu, which is represented as these 3 grey bars, and then a call to action button. So we're going to use that one, the current layout. We are going to edit the site logo and title. So we're going to call our website Experience Kāpiti, and I'm going to upload the logo. Now I've got one here. We're going to open it. So the files that it supports are any image file. We can, once it's loaded up, we're happy with that. We're going to set a logo height. No, I want my logo to be 90 pixels high. We can then also set the logo, the mobile, so that's just simply drag and drop. We can also set the mobile logo image height as well, which will change how the website looks on mobile. So we can also see how that would look. So we can see on mobile that's looking pretty small. We might want to make that a little bit bigger. So we'll just exit out of the mobile look view, come back in, and just make that mobile logo up to 70 pixels. Now, once we've made changes, we can either click done up here. We click done up here and it will save those changes. But we're just going to keep having a look through these elements. The elements for the on your navigation bar. So this is where we would make changes to that button over here. So we might want to call that subscribe. And then we can change the web address that goes to. We can also add our social media links in this section. And if you were doing e-commerce, you could add the cart functionality in there. Now, we can also change the style. So at the moment, the header is full width, but I want to make it an insert width. So that's not the complete width of the website. So we just click insert to bring it in, and we can see that that is now the width of the page. And there's a few other settings in there where we can do as well, but we'll just, at the moment, we'll click done and we will save the changes. You can also discard the changes if you choose to. Any questions at the moment? Okay. How do you change the titles of the tabs at the top? Sure. So when we come back out to on the right-hand side, to change the name of the tabs across the top, we click on the pages here. And for example, we want to change the name of Dine to menu. We click on the gear icon there beside the page, and we can come in here and we can change the page title. So that's what would display at the top of the page when we load up the page. Or the navigation title here just changes what shows up on the menu across the top of the page. So what we will change this to at the moment is menu, and then hit save. So that's a nice and easy way to change what is showing on the across the top of the page. I'll just change that back because I find that a little bit confusing, and I'll hit save. Any other questions at this point? Yeah, we've got some questions. Okay. All right, screen is too big. I'm not sure how to, I've got a question here. The screen is too big, it's giving me a headache. Is it possible to make it smaller? I'm not quite sure how to make that smaller. It might just be to do with the screen width of my screen, so I will try. Does that make it any better, Ben? Does that make it, guys, does that make it any better, or is that okay? Okay, this is better, but still a bit blurry. Okay, it's a bit clearer, better proportions. Okay, well, hopefully that will work, and I'll remember that for the next one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump in, and we're just going to come back to our page here. We're going to start editing this page. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Edit to bring us back into the page editor. And I'm quite keen to edit this hero image at the top here. To edit a section like this, we just click on we can hover over it, and you can see that this pencil icon comes up, and we can just click on this to edit the page section. So we're just going to click on this. And what I'm quite keen to do is that we're going to make it a little bit larger. So we're going to change the section height. We're going to click L for large, and suddenly it's become a full screen image. I'm also quite keen to change the background image. This really doesn't represent Kāpiti to me, so I'm going to jump on here. I'm going to click. We can replace this with an image or a video. The video we can link to YouTube or Vimeo links. We just copy and paste that in here, but we're not going to do that now. We're going to add in a image file. So I'm just going to click here, and we're going to go click replace. So we're going to upload an image. Look at this. We're going to add in this one here. We're going to no, look at this one. I like this one. We're going to upload this image here. And it'll take a couple of seconds for it to upload. Now, while it's done that, it will bring up our wonderful image of the Kāpiti coast. Now, it looks really great here on desktop, but if we scale that down, the center of the image might move, and we might end up with just the center of the image shown on mobile. So what we can do is this: Squarespace has got this fantastic feature of this little circle here on this image. And this shows the center of the background image that was center of any image for how it displays on mobile. So what we're going to do is we're going to set that onto Kāpiti Island as the center of our page. Actually, we want to send it somewhere in the middle between the sunset. And that means as we scale down the website, it will keep that part of the image at center, and we lose the other parts out the side. We can also, at this point, we can change the colors. Now, this just doesn't change the colors of the image, but it changes the colors of the buttons and text. So what, at the moment, I think what we might do is we might choose to change it to this dark and bold color here. And it does change the overlay, but it also changes the color of the text as well. I'm not quite happy with that. I quite like this. Maybe let's have a look at this one here. It gives it a gold overlay and changes the color of the text. But I think, if I'm completely honest, I quite like this one, and that's where we were to start with. So now I'm finished. Finished with that. I'm going to scroll up to the top. We're happy with how that section looks. We're going to click Done to. We're going to click Save to save those changes, and that brings us back to where we were before. Now we're going to jump in and we're going to click Edit again, and we're going to edit further down the page. I'll just quickly check whether we've got any questions. Okay. Any questions at this point? No? Okay, right. So what we're going to do is we're going to scroll down and we are going to edit this text. So simply to edit text, we just click and hover over the top of it and click inside of it. So I'm going to change this to Welcome to Kāpiti. Now you'll notice that some fonts do funny things with the macron. So we're just going to go with non-traditional spelling of Kāpiti, and we've decided that we want to add in a section below this. To add a section to your Squarespace website, simply click on this blue icon here. When we click on it, it comes up with a range of options that are designed to fit with our theme. And this is some of the powerful features that make Squarespace so amazing. We've decided we want to add in here, we're going to add in a video. So it comes up with a range of layouts. So we're just simply going to click on the layout that we choose. We're going to choose this one, and it adds in the section. Now, when we want to edit our video sections here, we simply click on Edit, the pencil icon to edit the video section. And we paste in the URL to make it fit. And then we can set a image icon over the top, or we can we can set a custom image, or we can use the image from the YouTube file. So I'll just grab the YouTube URL. To grab the YouTube URL, simply go to the URL to the YouTube file and click Share and copy the video file. Copy the link. So I'll jump in here again, make sure I got the right one. And what we're going to do is we're not going to use a custom thumbnail. And we can see there we've now got the Kāpiti Island ecotourist video. If we wanted to add a custom video thumbnail, we click the red button to remove it. Click on here to add the thumbnail. Choose the file that we would like to use and click upload. And that will now upload and sit in, instead of seeing the the start of the YouTube video, it will now show the thumbnail that we've chosen. Okay. All right, anyone got any questions at this stage, guys? A little bit of a technical issue there. Any questions at this stage, guys? Good question, Anna. Around preferring Squarespace over Wix, just purely the design functionality. It just. Oh, okay. Yeah, and I will repeat that, Eva. Sorry. The preference for Squarespace over Wix. Squarespace is really tight, really well designed, and the constraints around using their themes are a little bit restrictive, but it means that the design stays consistent across the theme. And that's my preference for Wix. The piece around the adding the video, I'll do that now. Right, just sorry guys. Okay, so to add the thumbnail over the video, it comes up with a pre-built-in thumbnail. We hover over it and we can see that there's a rubbish bin. We click the rubbish bin icon, click add a thumbnail, and then just simply choose the file from our computer. And that will upload that icon. It takes a couple of seconds. And then it's uploaded. Wait, sorry guys, that's I'll focus the screen. Is that better? Hopefully that's better, Renee. Sorry guys. Right. So say we want to rearrange the once that's uploaded, we'll finish what we're doing. Once that's uploaded, we just hit apply, and that will process and upload that image. We can see that now that it looks a little bit better. We've got a cool video and a nice, really nice crisp photo. Hit apply, and that's there. Now we're going to scroll down a little bit on our page, and we're going to say, hey, we actually want to rearrange some of these icons. Now you can rearrange them by rearrange some of these sections. Sorry, you can rearrange them by using these arrows here. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to click on the up icon, and that brings it up to the top. And if we want to, what we might want to do is we're going to jump in here, and we're going to edit this image section, and we're going to change the layout of it. What we can do is we can click on the edit button, and Squarespace has already built in a bunch of really amazing designs. So at the moment we've got the card icon. What we're going to do is we're going to turn this into a poster poster layout. So we just simply click on the layout that we want. So there's a range of them. So we can see that with card obviously works pretty well. But we're going to try the overlap one here. We're going to change the image position to the left, and we're going to put the sorry. We can put an image link either turn the image into a link or onto a or have it as a button. We can change the button text. If I move this around, you can see what I'm talking about. You can change that to button, the button text, and we might want to say learn more. And we can then also link this through to other pages on our website. So sorry, this is how we make links. So where we see URLs, we can click on the cog icon here, simply click on it, and we can choose to put in a web address for a website that's not on our landing page on our website. So, for example, http://google.com would be a link to the Google website. We can link to a page that's already in our website. So we're going to say link to the relax page. The next one down here is open in a new window. So when you click on a link and it opens a new tab or a new window, by turning this button on, it means that when visitors click on this link, it opens in a new window. Now we wouldn't want to do that if we had visitors on our own site, but perhaps if they were leaving our site to go somewhere else, that might be a good idea. We can also add links to emails. So this is by clicking this link here, it would send an email to that person's address with the subject line and body. Another link that's really great for visitors on mobile is by including a mobile number, a telephone number, so then they can click and call. So when you're putting in your telephone numbers, don't forget to put in the 64 and drop the preceding 0. It just helps the mobiles working. You can also link to a file. So for example, if we were an architectural firm and we had a brochure that we wanted people to download, we can upload a file. PDF files are great for this, and we can have that here as a downloadable file. What we're going to do next is we're going to just leave that. We're happy with how that is. We're going to click apply, and we're going to add a gallery. So we're going to choose, sorry, I'll just run through that again. So clicking on the blue icon, it's now adding a section. Now we're going to add a gallery, and we're going to choose a gallery that really resonates with what we think Kāpiti is about. I'm going to come up here, and I reckon that this one here, the first one looks pretty good. Or actually, no, I like the landscape one here. So we've clicked on that, and it's just populating in here. Now we can click on this button here, and it's brought up our gallery. So what we're going to do is we've decided it comes with these pre-built-in images. We're going to get rid of all those by clicking on the rubbish icon, the trash can icon, which appears when we hover over the images. We can add an image. Now we can either upload images or we can search for images. As Squarespace is hooked into, there's two different image libraries that Squarespace is plugged into. One is Unsplash, which we can see over here, that it's powered by Unsplash here, which means that we can use any of these images for free. Or we can use the premium images, which are powered by Getty, and every time we use one, they cost $10, but they might be a little bit more relatable. So we're just going to search here, and I'm going to search for fishing, and choose an image that really fits what we're going to do here in Kāpiti. Maybe not quite, but maybe not quite completely Kāpiti. We're going to add another one. We're going to search for images. Now we can, of course, we don't have to use the images that are included, but if you don't have quality photography for your website, stock photography is a great option. I'm just going to check in and see if there's any questions. Kāpiti Creative, there is a way to open an external URL as a new window, and I will show you the link editor again. Right, let's just bring that up. So we'll just add another image in of a boat. And we'll just say that someone in Kāpiti's got a very flash launch. And we're going to click close. And we can, of course, we can rearrange these as well, I think. No. Yes, we can rearrange them just by dragging them around. We're going to hit close, and that brings up our gallery here. You wanted to know about the link building, so we're just going to click plus again. We're just going to add in some text, and we're just going to add in a little body of text here, and we can edit it. Edit this text. Now, say for example, we want to put in a website here. Let's say for example, we want to turn this text into a link. We're going to highlight it. We're going to click on the link icon, which brings up the linking window. We can click on the gear icon wherever a link goes in. And for linking to an external website and opening it in a new window, we would type in the link address in here. So for example, Google, http://google.com. Now you don't need to worry about prefacing it with the HTTP. I think Squarespace does that automatically, or you just copy and paste it out of your browser. And by doing that and now saying open a new window, you can now open that link in a new window. We didn't finish that. We didn't finish that. And that is now a link in the window. Now we can also change, for example, we've clicked on that, so we've clicked on this pencil icon to edit the section. Clicking on this will bring us back to this section editor. We want to change this to a small section, which changes the height of it. We're going to change the colors of this one, and we're going to turn our default theme off, and we can choose one that we think might work a bit better. Once we're done with that, we can come back to format, and we just click out of it, and it's there. Now, to make sure, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we've saved all our changes. We come over here to the left-hand side of the screen and click Save. Now those are there. Right, now what we're going to do is we're going to jump, let's check in, see if there's any questions. Okay, I can see a question down the bottom. Okay, I can see here, what file would you recommend for pictures, and will adding videos slow the site down? Good question. So the first question around images. My preferred image format is either JPEG or a PNG file. Now, you can use a free tool called Canva to edit your images to the right size. One of the biggest things that slow websites down are large files. It really depends on where you're using the image to the size of the file. And Squarespace is also fantastic because it then it also optimizes those images to fit their layouts. So I wouldn't worry too much about the file size, but it is important. Adding video, if you were hosting the video on your own website, yes, it would slow the website down, but the way in which Squarespace cleverly uses video from YouTube or Vimeo to on their site, it doesn't slow the website down at all. So I'm a big proponent of using video on websites where possible. So by all means, use the power of YouTube or Vimeo to host your website, host your images, host your videos, sorry, and then call them onto your website. It's like watching a YouTube video. If you do have a slow internet connection, YouTube and Vimeo have the technology to drop the resolution on that. But it is one of those things that will affect it. So well, the next step is we're going to come back into here and we're going to jump into, we're not going to look at the commerce section because that we're going to cover off the commerce in the next workshop, which we're looking at Shopify. But if you were using Squarespace for commerce, this is where you would look, which is on the left-hand side there to pages, design, and commerce. The next one is we can have a look at is marketing. Now, a number of these features are related to if you go to the premium levels. So the email marketing, email campaigns, the SEO. So as we talked about earlier, SEO stands for search engine optimization, and this is something that you should have a look at. We've got an SEO checklist. We can also we can have a look at the keywords hire a SEO expert. We can look at how our pages and items will appear in the search engines. We can also add a site description, which is what shows up in Google when we search for our website. So it would normally it's showing up here where it says search engines automatically blah 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 blah. This is where it's showing up. So for example, we would write in here Kāpiti fantastic. Yes, and I'm terrible at spelling, so and then more of a description, and we can see that this is what it would look like in the search engine results. We're just going to hit save, and that'll load that up again. All right, so that's just quickly loading up. The pop-up promotional, which is a pop-up bar. Pop-up, you will have seen these. These are a fantastic tool for getting email subscribers. So for your business, you might offer, say, for example, a discount code or a newsletter. Always good to get. I think it's always important for businesses to get potential customers onto their emailing list. Now, it's only important if you use those emails to send out emails, to keep in contact with them. So you can, this is a premium feature, and you need to be on the business or commerce plan to use that. But fantastic if you are ready to spend that amount. The announcement bar is a bar that sits across the top of the page. So we can enable the announcement bar, and we can see it sitting up the top here in that black bar. This, again, really fantastic for, say, for example, you can see a lot of businesses are using those for COVID-19 announcements. Hey, we're shipping. Hey, we're going to be shipping on this date. It's not as intrusive as a pop-up. I'm just going to go back here. And then we've got some promotional stuff here. So we're just going to skip those and come back into the, actually we'll go back to what we're going to do now is we're going to add in a blog post. We're at an hour mark here, so thank you very much for hanging in there. Any questions at this stage, guys, please just pop them in. And we can answer as we work our way through. So what we're going to do is on the right-hand side here, we've got our main navigation. It's already got a blog post, a blog added in, so to the theme. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add click on this, and we are going to add a blog. Actually, no, this is if we wanted to create a whole completely new blog. We're going to close that. We're just going to go to news, and we're just going to click on that button, which will, the little arrow there, which takes us across to the news blog. And we can see that there's already a number of blog posts already in our blog. To add a new blog, we can click on the plus icon up here to add a blog post. By simply clicking on it, it adds a new one, and we can edit this in here, so we can give it a title. Again, the font obviously doesn't have a macron above the name, so we're just going to skip that. Kāpiti. And we can just edit that here. We add some filler text. We can also we can click here, click on these grey little teardrop icons to add in content blocks. So, for example, if we wanted to add an image, we click on that and click image, and it's now bringing up the image editor. What we can upload an image by clicking on this, or we can click here to search for an image. Now we're going to search for a coffee. Push enter. I'm going to add that to site. Now with adding images in, there are a number of different options that we can have. We can, as we saw on the previous layout, we can have different layouts, but we're just going to keep it with where it was. We can add an animation, so we might have this one fade in. We can see it fade in. Always good to give your files names. Naming files as they come in helps with the search engines or robots to understand what your images are about. So here we might say coffee from Dark Horse. And we can just add text in. Once we're ready to publish, we can just hit publish. Or we can hit save, publish, or we can click schedule. So for example, perhaps we're writing a blog post that we want to publish in the future. We can click on the schedule button here and decide that, hey, next week on Friday at a time, and we can drag the clock icon over. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we want this to publish. So we schedule it, click schedule, and it's ready to go. The other thing that we haven't done is set a feature image for this. Sorry, my brain's got a bit mush. Hit done. Right. Okay, no, it's set the featured image there. We can then go back to the news blog, and we can see it's should be there. I will publish there once it's scheduled. Okay, so we've now done blog posts. Any questions so far, guys? All right, some questions in here. How do you add multiple drop-downs? Okay, that's a good question. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some icons to the drop-down menu at the top. So for example, we've got a couple of other pages. So what we want to do is we want to add a page that comes under relax. So say for example, we want to add a massage suppliers page. We're going to choose we're just going to add a blank page here, and we're going to call it massage. So it's now showing up in the main navigation, and we can see it sitting here as a bit random. It's sort of come in as the first one. What we're going to do is just going to click and drag it, and what is it doing? Good question. Okay. That's why. So, okay, this is why. Sorry, brain fade. You click on the plus icon, you choose folder. So we're going to add a folder, and we're going to call it Relax. X. Hit save. We then drag massage into the Relax folder. But now you can see that we've got two relaxes there, so we would just put Relax page into that folder too. We can just drag and reorder that so it's now in a suitable format. If, for example, we want to delete these pages, we can just click. We can click on the gear icon here and click delete folder. We can do the same with pages. All right. Yeah, so there's a couple of other questions there. I need to add age verification to a site. How do I do this? I don't know the answer to that right now, Gordon. I can look that up and answer that. I know in Shopify that it is relatively easy to do. I believe it should be straightforward in Squarespace. It would just take me a couple of seconds to figure that out. Okay. All right, good stuff. Okay, so right. So scheduling is the next one that we're going to have a look at here. Now this is on the side here. This is how Squarespace wants to help people book meetings and appointments with their clients. We're not really going to cover this. It's an additional feature, but fantastic if you are taking online bookings for appointments such as being a hairdresser or perhaps a cleaning company. Really good, good tool. The next one we're going to have a look at is settings. At the moment, our site availability is private. We can, when we've upgraded it, we can make it public so everyone can see it. We can password protect it so it's public, but you can only access it if you know the password. But at the moment, it's private, so only people who have who know the website is there, we can edit it. The other thing I wanted to quickly show you, before we, just in the other edit section. So we're just going to go and jump back in and just quickly edit this page. And one of the things we're going to do is we come down and edit the footer. Editing the footer is the same as editing the header or any other section, but we just have to hover over it to start with it to edit it. So hover to edit, click, and you can add sections to your footer. The footer repeats on every page. For local businesses, I recommend having your, well, for every business, but I recommend having your street address there, and you can also remove this made with Squarespace text if you do not like that. Just going to click done and come back to our site. We can change the language and region. At the moment, we're set in New Zealand. It we've got imperial measurements, but we're actually metric. This just make sure that the time zone is relative and make sure that they pick the right server for you. Back to our settings. Business information. This is where you would put in your contact details, your physical location. You can have your opening and closing hours. The social links. So this is where you can add links to your Facebook or Instagram accounts. Very important for businesses to have those there. Connected accounts. So this is where you might want to be connecting into your social accounts. The domains. So when you're ready to go live, you'll need to get a domain. Now, Squarespace includes a free domain when you register with them. The big constraint for New Zealand-based businesses is that free domain is not available as a .co or a .nz domain name or a .kiwi. You can have a .com and a bunch of other top-level domains. You can register a domain elsewhere. So, for example, you already have a domain and then bring it to Squarespace. A little bit more tricky. Using the Squarespace domains is really easy, and it's not completely unachievable to use your own domain. But if you want to use a .co.nz, you have to register elsewhere. I would recommend setting up your G Suite account with email and G Suite. Squarespace gives you a free business Gmail account, so it would be ross@experiencekapiti.co.nz instead of ross@gmail.com. Always seems much more professional to come from at your business name .co.nz or .com. Far more professional, really easy to set up. Billing an account, this is where we come in to upgrade our account. But what we're going to do is we're just going to finish through here. Mobile information bar. This is an information bar that will pop up on mobile. We don't need to worry about that. And we're going to skip through that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come through to the subscribe section. So we'll say, for example, we're ready to go and subscribe. And we just come through here and click on the subscribe button. We can also do it through the billing, I think, wherever the billing is, but we're just going to click on subscribe. So when we're ready to bring our website live, we come in here, and this is the costs. So these are in USD for a closer to the New Zealand price. Look at the AUD price, so $16 plus your exchange, your foreign exchange fee on your credit card. By paying annually, you do get a discount. Pay monthly, it's here. All you need to do is select the plan that you would like to go for. Now, if you're just having just a standard website, you just want to showcase that you're here. This plan here, the personal plan, would be perfect. If you put it on the pay monthly, at $16 Australian, or the business one includes your free domain name and your email from Google. So I know that the email from Google is somewhere around about $10 US a month. And so that's probably a fair and reasonable fee. So you just click select. It brings you through to your checkout. Once you go through here, you put in your credit card details and hit pay, and it will bring you up in live. Now, I don't want to go through and pay for the account now, but that is how we would get it there. Renee has just asked a question. If I have an existing website, can I bring it over and edit it in Squarespace? And domain. You can bring your existing domain to Squarespace. You can't import directly into Squarespace. So you can copy and paste your website across, but it's just like editing a Word document. It is really, really easy to use Squarespace. So I hope that this has answered a few questions. Is there any questions from anyone else on the call to run through? Is there anything you'd like me to cover again? I know that this is, yeah, thanks, Renee. This has been my first webinar, so please, if there's any constructive criticism, probably not taking a phone call in the middle is one. But anything else that I could show you, any burning questions? Is there a way to add a new section? Yes. I'll show you that. So we'll go back to this one. We'll focus on that. Right, so to add another new section, we'll just go back to the right. So to add another new section, okay. So now if we go to the home page and we click on the pages. At the moment, the news section is shown here as this, or the news or the blog section is here as this pen icon. What we can do is we can either click on this button here. We can click on this button here to add a new news section. So this would be a different blog from the one that you're writing now. So for example, an example might be a business where you have two different authors. You might have a blog by, say, myself and a blog by our creative director, Juliet. They might not necessarily be on the same blog. Or you could have, you know, they could be about two completely different subjects. So we're just going to click Add a New Blog, and we can choose the different layout for that. And that is how easy it is to add a new blog. And then we've come over here on our main navigation bar. We can then change the name of it. So this might be music, or I don't know, something completely different. And then it's also populated with some draft posts. So one of the things you want to do is, once you've done that, is actually get rid of these draft posts. So how to do that is you just hover over the top of them and delete. And it'll ask you if you want to confirm that. Click confirm, and they're gone. Okay. Are we linking the Shopify store to the Squarespace store on Friday? No. Shopify and Squarespace are two different platforms. Shopify is really built around e-commerce being the primary driver. Squarespace is more user-friendly around the design and editing. The page editor on Shopify is a little bit different, but it's a little bit more powerful for e-commerce. Very similar programs, platforms, but a little bit different. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. I hope that it has been helpful for everyone, and I hope this has been helpful for everyone. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, or you can book. Just added a little button down the bottom there. You can book a 30-minute call with me using that button down the bottom. Yeah, thank you very much for your time. I know that's coming up an hour and 20 minutes, so we might wrap that up here. But thanks again. Don't forget to register for the next one. And I will, once the video is up, it'll be hosted on the Kāpiti Council page. So I hope everyone's staying safe, and let me know if there's anything I can do to help. I can see a couple of questions that come in. Is that right? Oh, hang on. How do you add Thank you. How do you add the option of signing up for a MailChimp newsletter? If I I'll just focus on that. Okay, so let's go back to the home page. Click edit. I'm going to come in here and we're going to find an email sign up. I think they've got one here. Newsletter. Click and just choose one to add in. Click on here and we click edit. Now you'd put your form name in here, details, and sign up button. You can work through this. The action that you're looking at is actually I think it's the storage one. So you come in here to the storage, you connect other services, you click MailChimp to click to connect, and this is only available on the second tier plan, the second tier plan, so the $25 a month one, and then connect it that way. You can, and then it will take, by clicking on that, it will take you through to MailChimp to sign up. Really good idea. And that's the same with that pop-up form that we looked at earlier. It's the same work through. So storage and then other MailChimp is the account. And then you just click apply and save. Okay. Other questions? No. Okay. Cool. Well, thanks again, guys, for your time. I'm going to wrap this up here unless there's any last minute questions. And hope to see you either on the call on Friday or the one on Monday will be actually really, really applicable if you don't have anything, any e-commerce side of things. Don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope everyone's staying safe and in their bubble. So talk soon. Bye.